And it's something I want to speak on, fam. And I know sometimes I feel like for me, I could be wrong. Growing up as a kid, things used to be a lot more like level-headed to an extent. And then I feel like with the music and the influence in certain movies and games, it started to change the culture from a time whereby people were actually brought up with sense and a little bit decent to now everybody trying to be a gangster, a thug, a G. Somebody will come from a home where their family was there for them throughout. And the next thing you know, yeah, I was on the block slanging rocks. Yeah. And it's like, what? Why are you trying to pretend to be something you're not? Why are you picking up the influence of something that doesn't make sense? There's so much more you can do with your life. There's so much more you can be. And then there's this saying that people say, stop snitching, don't snitch. Everybody don't come from that street life. You can't say don't snitch and you're out here terrorizing people. What do you expect? You want people to keep quiet while you terrorize them? Oh, I'm gonna go rob this people and they're gonna keep quiet. And guess what? We're gonna go rob them again and they always gonna keep quiet. That's stupid. That's not fair. Everybody don't come from that cloth. But I guess sometimes people are scared, of the repercussions, and I get it, because sometimes when you do stuff like that, even though you're in the right, sometimes these people will try to retaliate against you and do something bad to you. So I do wish that the system can work on ways to make that better, and people can shy away from that snitch mentality. Because if somebody do something bad to you, I feel like they should, face whatever comes or whatever they do, and shouldn't just get away with it like that because it's wrong.
Yeah, so what got you into, like, wanting to be a motivational speaker?
Bro, I started doing that years ago. Because when I would make music, the world has changed, man. There was a time whereby people used to do things together and come together, but now we're in a space whereby if you want to do something, do it yourself. Use your phone, record it yourself, build it up by yourself. Back then it was teamwork. So when I started making the videos and the music and trying to like figure it out, I was doing it by myself, and sometimes it would be very hard for me to do. So there was always a voice within me that told me to keep on going, keep on trying, keep on finding a way to break through no matter what. And when I would hear that, it would motivate me and encourage me. And it gave me the strength to continue. So I was like, well, if the inner voice within me is giving me strength to carry on in today's time when it's like a lot of these things kind of fall on you to do, someone else might need this voice and it might inspire them and it can help them as well. So those are the things that kind of like led to me wanting to like put back into the world and just seeing the way the world is going, bro. Like I I don't life is already hard, man. I don't want to see the next person torn down or the next person hurt. um, I want to say something else, fam. Growing up in America, growing up as a black man in America, a black child, I was innocent minded at one point. Whereas, like when I see people, I'm looking at them for them, like humans. I'm not judging a person off their name, their skin color, their race, none of that. I'm just looking at a person for their character, who they are, and what they display to me. So back then, especially in the 90s, because I was born in 92, especially in the 90s, you would always hear this, oh, black people, we're your people, your brother, your sister, your this, your that. And I used to have that mentality like, yeah, this is my brother, this is my sister. But then, because of the skin color. And then you see how other races support and help each other, like the Spanish, the whites, you know what I'm saying? Just the Chinese, Asian, how they support each other. And then I had to finally really understand that sometimes that race card, it causes division in some type of way. And I had to get out of the mentality that every black person and every black individual was my brother or sister. They're not. I can't say every black person is my person because we have the same skin color. When there's some black people that look like me in terms of my skin, that would probably try to hurt me, kill me, bring me down, or take from me. I can't call that person my brother. My brother wouldn't hurt me. My brother wouldn't kill me. My brother wouldn't take away from me. So that's not my people. What I refer to as my people are people who have a good character, a good heart, and possess good energy, no matter if they're green, yellow, red, white, or blue, or black or tan. I don't care how you come. If you have a good character and a good heart, you're my people. But if I'm going to sit back and say because you look black or because you're like this, I'll be deceiving myself, because it'd be some of them people in that same very crowd that would do me harm and try to bring me down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I noticed that's the same way I think. I'm not even like, I remember back in my past, I had a best friend, right? And I got a settlement check. And then I'm gonna make this fast because this is your interview. But the first thing I did with my money, I went because he stayed in a motel. His family. He had like 5 kids. I took $1,000, went and gave him that. But as soon as I got in trouble and I was wanted by the law, he told me to come over there. I went over there. He's walking back and forth out the house. Whole time he's trying to call people over there to rob me with guns. They gonna drive me around in a car and get my money out of ATMs. That's what they were planning on doing. I found this out later. It's
Wow.
crazy.
That's my quick. How did you get up out of that situation?
Because one of the people that he called, his name was Big Poppy. He came over there. He was a mutual friend though. I knew him and he knew him. He came in there. He was like, "Hey, Crime, let me holler at you in the parking lot." I went out there. He said, "Crime, listen, I know." I was like, "Look, I'm wanted. I can't go back to the house." He was like, "Look, you need to sober up and go back to the house." I was like, "Man, what are you talking about? I'm wanted. I gotta stay here. I don't know if the police gonna get me." He's like, "Listen, you think people are helping you? You need to sober up, go home. People are not helping you. You will get yourself hurt." So I just listened to him, went home, washed up, went to sleep. When I woke up, I called him. He told me, he said, "Yeah, the whole time you was over there, your friend TikTok, he was calling everybody to come rob you. He called me to come rob you." Crazy.
Wow. Glad you ain't get robbed, and I'm glad you had somebody there to like advise you out of that situation, man.
Well, the crazy part about it is, I don't think it would have stopped that robbing. I think I would have lost my life because we're
Wow,
talking about $100,000, and this money's in the bank. You put a gun to my head and tell me get this money out. You ain't just gonna let me walk away once you get this money.
that's true. That's true because some people it's a lot of money, and some people they this dude might come back for retaliation. So we might as well just finish this person off now. That way, no face, no case. We out the way.
He
You know what
might
I'm
think I'm
saying?
gonna go to the cops. He don't know.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
how'd you get into the music?
Oh man, shoot! Ever since I was a kid, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like I love music. There was one time when I was young, and I was with my parents' house back on Irvin Street, and my parents would go to a flea market and sell peanuts and stuff like that. So one day, I heard music on the radio, and then I heard Too Short song. It was they had like a Too Short cassette. Only the Lord knows how that joint got in my parents' house, but it was there. So one time I said, "Let me see what this is about." I said, "Too Short." I played it, and then this dude said the B word. And I was like, oh, but at that moment, that joint sounded like the coolest thing to me. Because I know that was something you weren't really supposed to say. And that's not what we heard coming out. I ain't hear that type of stuff come out of my parents' mouth. Because they brought us up with respect and sense. So when I heard that in that tape, I was like, dang, that's cool. So sometimes anytime my people go out and it was just me in the house or my sister or whoever, I'll go back to the kitchen because that's where the stereo we had was placed. Let's pop in that tape and I'll be listening to Too Short and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, this joint hard. And as I got older, man, I just was musically inclined. My dad used to back then he had the big vinyls. He would have a whole bunch of them with different artists. My dad loved music, so even just seeing that inspired me. And just the whole idea of like wanting to break out of the system, like being poor, not having, and you want to like bring your own mix into the world and show people what's within you. Like so that's the type of stuff that inspired me to want to do it and go from there.
Has anyone ever told you that you saved their life?
Man, honestly speaking, I've heard that about 2 times, and ever since I've been doing this, and uh, one was a guy all the way in Nigeria. It was a guy I used to talk to. His name was Otunde. And one time he was messaging me talking about how he was going through certain things. And I gave him some advice from the heart. And out of nowhere, he was like, hey, bro, like your advice and what you do helped me. Like you saved my life because I had thoughts of doing something to myself. And when I heard that, it made me feel great. It made me feel good. The person even said, hey, you can use that too and put it out there if you want. And I was like, at that time, I was just like, nah, because it's not about um what comes from it. It's about what it does for the people. You understand what I'm saying? Like It's about the message, not what I receive from putting out the message or how people will perceive me. Because no, you could be the nicest person in the world. People always gonna have something to say. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're doing something from your heart and you're able to connect with people and it resonates, that's what I respect. So just hearing that alone really, it made me feel good. And just being told that personally, or seeing comments where people say thank you for the positivity, or I'm motivated, or I'm inspired, or hearing stuff like that, it keeps me going, and it makes me happy.
So what's for the future? Where do you see
Oh,
yourself? Where do you see yourself going?
that's a beautiful question, fam. I'll tell you like this, bro. One thing I've learned, this is me. I know everybody has their own way of doing things. Me necessarily, bro, I don't really plan for the future like that. It might sound crazy, but I don't. And the reason why I don't plan for the future like that is because it's unknown. Bro, there's people who say in the next 5 years, this is where I'm going to be, and they end up dead. They're not able to reach that height. They're not able to be there. But what I do is focus on the now and what I'm able to get done now to work towards making my future better. But for me to sit here and say, "Oh man, tomorrow I'm going to do this," and I'm going, life can change or happen in any moment. It can, you don't know what direction it's going to hit you from. But what I will say is, I'm just trusting God every day, and I'm working towards being a better person and improving what I do. Like even right now, I've shied away from the music. I'm now using my voice more to speak and motivate people. I do motivational videos, and graduated into me interviewing people on the streets. I'll go to different states and countries and interview people. I've interviewed people in Mexico. I've interviewed people in St. Bart's, Anguilla. I've interviewed people in uh, California, uh, DC, Virginia, North Carolina, you name it. I've been to a couple places, Vermont, just to do what I love and spread the good vibes. So it's always changing. Now, I'm focusing on. I speak on videos that I see, or topics or things that I hear with people getting hurt or either dying or going through something, and I try to bring my twist on it and try to spit positive things to people in the midst of negativity that we see. So I'm just constantly working to elevate and grow in whatever way I can. But for the future, fam, I don't know, because things are constantly changing.
Yeah, I mean, you said that nicely. Why do you think people lose motivation?
Hmm. That's a great question, man. I feel like sometimes people can lose motivation because it's like it may differ for everybody, but some people might not have it. Some people might be in areas where they're not inspired to do anything, but probably stay in the same place or to do stuff that's wrong. Some people lose motivation because they might lack discipline. Some people might lose motivation because they've probably just been through a lot. They probably fell a lot, and it doesn't feel good. But I will tell you this, man, if you can stay motivated to do something, that can give you a push to want to get something done. When you back it up with determination and not giving up, it can lead you to success.
Yeah, most of the time I'm always talking about prison stuff on my channel. So, I know you. I don't think you've really been to prison, have you?
I haven't been to prison. I've been locked up before, but I ain't been to prison. I've only been like in a holding cell.
But what could you
Mhm.
what could you tell a young person that's out there running the streets right now, just trying to be cool, Mr. Cool or whatever, up to no good, that's leading that life? What would you tell them?
Hmm. Black on black crime change, white on black crime change, kids in the streets change, follow gold, don't chase change, life's here to offer finer things, seek within the wider range. Look, don't chase change, don't chase things that are less than you or less of you. Like shoot out, that's one of the lyrics from my song called Not the Same. But it's don't chase the little things. Life is here to offer you gold and so much more, and not just gold in terms of the material itself, but just finer things. You don't got to be on these streets out here running things or trying to be bad or being devious. You can be better than that. You can see the world. You don't have to put yourself in a predicament whereby like You're in a place whereby you don't have your freedom, or your family can't see you, or your kids can't see you, or your peers. You can go out here and inspire or change the world. With your time, be wise, and please do not use it to bring yourself down or deteriorate the world, because we already have too much of it. You can be whatever you want to be, and you don't have to copy other people. Just believe in yourself and work hard towards it. Follow gold. Do not chase change.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was beautiful right there. You the real
Thank you.
deal. You the
I
real
appreciate
deal.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so
I, s-
much. And so are you.
I thank you. I'm just trying to do my thing, man. I spent so much time in prison. I'm trying to I'm trying to do the right thing for once, and it feels good doing it. I ain't gonna lie, it does. Getting out of that life, it feels good.
Can I say
Um,
something, fam? Can I say something, fam? I also
yeah,
want to say, man, I appreciate you, and I'm happy that you are spreading the light, and I'm happy that you're giving people a voice as well, and you're letting people be heard, and you're bringing change in your own way. After saying you was in prison, bro, some people go to prison, and for some, it's hard for them to get back on the straight and narrow. It's hard for them to do right. It's hard for because they're used to the system, and sometimes they want to go back. Sometimes that's all they know. But for you to say, you know what, I've been through this. I've seen certain things, and I want to come out here and do my own thing and be great in my own way. That tells a lot about you.
yeah, just bringing positivity to other people. Because in prison, you see a lot of young people coming in there, and you see the worst of people in prison. I mean, they got predators, everything in there. You see violence on another scale. I'm talking about medieval violence,
Mm,
and seeing young people come in there and getting really hurt, really bad. They're listening to all this street music and stuff. They're thinking life's a game, but when they get in there around real men, real grown men, just dogged out to the point where they're like, on dog leashes, people getting walked around, like just extorted, all that, it does something to you.
mm,
If you spend enough time around demons, sooner or later you're gonna start to become one. So I just wanted to
facts,
get away from that.
facts. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I thank you for the kind words. What's harder, speaking live or making videos?
That's a good question, man. For me, sometimes speaking live is could be challenging because you're in a whole you're in a setting where you're around different people you may not know, um, and you have to now tune into yourself and do it. Well, once you tune into yourself, like for me, once I tune into myself and I get into my zone, I'm able to just be me and let it out. Making videos too can be challenging, but bro, I've done so many videos. I have so much content on YouTube. At this point now, I'm just doing it how I like because ultimately we all gonna meet our maker one day. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care how perfect a video look. I don't care how much effects and things. To me, I'm at a point whereby I don't need to have the best video in the world. So long as my message is able to hit people and impact them, that's what it's about. Let me ask you a question, fam. If you seen a book on the ground that had dirt on it and mud all over it, and in that book, you know it's the keys to life. Are you gonna say I ain't picking up that book because it looked like that, or are you going to read it?
I'm gonna read that book.
Exactly, because it's not about the outer; it's about what's within. So I feel like when people take time to actually listen to whatever I'm saying or connect with it, then I feel like it'll make the best impact. But if I'm simple, man. I'm just straight to the point now. So, but yeah, the both can be challenging. But I feel like when I'm out in public, sometimes that's more challenging because you're dealing with like different energies and different people, but you still have to remain you throughout.
Yeah, you mentioned something about a YouTube channel. What do you just got motivational videos on your YouTube channel? What is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Dayo Demand, Dayodman. That's my YouTube channel. I got motivational videos, almost everything I've really done from the year I've been on YouTube since like 2013 or 2014, 2012, something like that. Maybe earlier if I'm not mistaken. But I have YouTube's documenting my whole journey to this very moment. So I got my music videos. I got some of the performances I've did in certain places that I was able to do. I got my motivational content where I'm speaking on different topics and breaking down my process and what I believe in. And yeah, just as a channel that'll make you think, it'll make you see stories that's happening around the world. And just trying to push a good agenda for people because I feel like we all need it. That's what you can find on my channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that channel. I'm put the name down here below, and I'm putting in the description.
Thank you.
How do you deal with negative comments? How do you deal with that?
Man, when I see something negative, bro, see now, bro, we human. I'm not perfect. Sometimes, things are easier said than done. But I feel like so long you don't let nobody get the best of you, you're okay. When I see somebody say something negative on my comment, I just thank them. I say thank you. I say I appreciate you, fam, because you don't always have to respond back with something bad because someone else is trying to bring you down and take you out of character. Whether if somebody likes what I say or what I do or not, you took time to put put something on my channel or say something about it. So whether if I like it or not, I still appreciate it because there's some people that don't even get no comments and they are praying for a comment, whether if it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So when I see something negative, man, I just let it be, man. Because also you have to remember it's on the screen. Like if someone say something bad about you, family, they don't know what you've been through. They don't know who you are as a person. They just going off what they see. Some of them probably can't even relate to your world. So I can't take they don't even know who you are as a human. So I can't, dumb myself down the lower myself because somebody got something bad to say about me. That's just how it is in life. I agree. Can I
Yeah,
say something real quick? Can I say something real quick?
yeah. Go ahead. It's your interview. Say
I
whatever
want to
you
say,
want.
I want to say, you're a great interviewer, man. You're a great interviewer, and I say that because, like, during me speaking and telling my story, I appreciate you for taking the time to listen and actually hear me out and not even interrupt me. Whereas sometimes when you're having conversations with certain people and you're being interviewed by them, they might keep on interjecting or trying to like break into your story. I appreciate you for allowing me to like say what I went through and expressing it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I see. It's like that makes the best interviews. Even I get comments saying we appreciate you letting a person speak because at the end of the day, it's your interview, it's your story.